Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are watching one of the dopest vlogs I think that is in the universe today. Mic drop. I am your humble bearded host, Big Mike, coming to you from my home. Welcome. I hope everyone's doing awesome out there. I am doing absolutely fantastic balls, amaze balls, wonderful balls, and I hope you guys are the same. Maybe not in the balls format, but just wonderful and amazing and awesome and all that stuff. Okay. To those of you who just stumbled upon this channel, whether you're bored or I don't know, you happen to see me wearing random stuff, feel free to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. I have over 90 vlogs I have done over the past few years, which is a lot of vlogs. Coming up on my 100 vlogs, so I'm definitely gonna do a celebration. And I have decided today is the day that I'm going to do a Feel Good Friday vlog. And it's truly going to be a Feel Good Friday vlog. I will be calling out some slight stuff, but for the most part, I am in an amazing mood right now. Okay, so it is going to take a tsunami of negativity to ruin my mood right now. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about a few topics, two different topics, but they're kind of similar in some ways. But before I get into that, I am wearing Josh Gordon's jersey. Josh Gordon, he was a quarterback. No, not a quarterback. He was a wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns. That's why I bought his jersey. He's been in the league for about 7 or 8 years. I think he's out of the league right now. Although he was dealing with a lot of substance abuse issues and stuff like that, and dealt with some struggles in his life. He was actually a really good player. In 2013, had one of the best wide receiver seasons ever, and that's when I decided to buy his jersey. So I decided to bust it out just for y'all folks. And also, if my boy Moses, shout out to my boy Moses who stumbles on this vlog, or any other Pittsburgh Steeler fan, I just want to piss them off because the Steelers and the Browns are rivals. So go Brownies. But anyway, no, I'm just kidding around. But I just wanted to wear his jersey to kind of, but it's kind of it kind of connects, but not really. But I just wanted to kind of wear his jersey just cause. But today, my Feel Good Friday vlog is going to be touching on some stories that have been happening this week that made me feel good, that maybe you might have heard about, may not have heard about, may not have given a shit about, due to the fact that they are sports stories. Now, I know the people that usually watch my vlogs are mostly women, and I know women are not huge fans of sports for the most part, but I do hope that they are fans of these stories that I'm going to share. Okay, two of them involve NBA, and one of them involves, well, actually, two of them involve NFL as well that I want to kind of touch on today, and I wanted to kind of share these stories because I feel that they're important to share. So, the first story I want to talk about happened actually this week. I believe it was on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. A player for the Las Vegas Raiders, his name is Carl Nassib. He came out as gay on a Twitter post. Came out and said to the world that he is a gay man, and a proud gay man, and thanked everyone for the support that they've shown him and stuff like that, which I thought was wonderful and amazing to see. Was dope to see him come out in the fashion that he did. He's still playing in the league, plays at a pretty high level, so the fact that he decided to come out was great. A lot of the NBA brass, players and stuff like that, teammates of his, came out in support of him and supported him, which I thought was awesome. It was great to see. Unfortunately, when I was on, I guess Bleacher Report is like this sports app that I follow. The comments on that post were not as, I guess, respectful as I thought they would be, but I shouldn't have been surprised because, like we know my saying that people are shitheads, so I really shouldn't have been surprised that, people would have been saying what they said about him. Like, someone said that it's gross, him coming out is disgusting, and the NFL is a mess, and blah 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 blah, and all this stuff. I'm like, word, that's gross and disgusting, bro. Really, a man living his truth and living his best life and all that stuff, that's gross. And being honest with them, that's gross. I don't know. I mean, there's been guys that have beat their women half to death, and I don't see those same people posting that's gross and disgusting behavior. But hey, you know what? That's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm out of the loop in that. But I just thought it was a great story to post. I mean, and especially and all things, and also too, the reason why I think it's a good thing, his jersey right now is actually the number one selling jersey on Fanatics. They're probably sold out now, so you may not be able to get one. But hey, you might be lucky, you might get a jersey. So I don't have any money to buy a jersey, so I bought a jersey this week, but not of his. But I don't have any money to buy one. But shout out to people who are supporting him and all that. I think it's great. I'm not a gay person. I'm not a gay man. You know, I know people may wonder if I am, maybe think it, because I guess I'm not how a typical man acts or whatever. I don't know. I remember actually a few years ago. I'm sure. Hopefully, you guys are familiar with at least this story. Michael Sam, who was a player who was about to get drafted in the NFL. He came out as gay before the NFL draft. And this was, I think, 2013 or 2014. And unfortunately, he was drafted in the 7th round. He had fell. And he'd only and when you're drafted in the 7th round, for those of you who don't know, you're not guaranteed a roster spot in the NFL. You're only guaranteed a roster spot, I think, with the first 3 picks. Round 4, 5, and 6, if you're drafted in those rounds, you're not guaranteed a roster spot. So they can cut you, whatever, and they don't have to pay you anything. So he only lasted the preseason. He was cut after that, and I think he played a little bit in the CFL. Was cut then, and then he stopped playing. He retired after that. So his career kind of ended. And this was, like I said, it was. I think it was more. Obviously, it was more about the attention that he was getting, and it was the attention that I think the team did not want it. The St. Louis Rams at the time did not want to deal with. I mean, they said people were saying, "Oh, his combine performance was not good," and or he was slow and stuff like that, and he couldn't get off blocks. Which, okay, sure. The only reason why I question that argument is because Michael Sam was just not just some guy. That argument would have held weight if he was just a roster player. Michael Sam, his last year at Missouri, I believe led the SEC, which most people who watch football know, and college football especially, with Southeastern Conference, is probably the best conference in terms of teams and talent in college football, hands down. No one is going to debate that. And he led that conference in sacks his last year. I think he had either 12.5 or 13.5 sacks, I believe. And he won co-player of the year that year as well. So, I don't know. Listen, I'm not an NFL evaluator. I, contrary to popular belief, do not work for the NFL. So I do not evaluate players, but I'm just saying, a guy who won Defensive Player of the Year and won the toughest conferences in college football, I think he could kind of play. If you coach him right, you give him some teaching, you give him some tutelage, maybe he can be something. But, again, I'm not a college coach. I'm not an NFL coach. I'm not an NFL scout, so I don't know anything. So I'm just making an observation, but whatever. And I just, so that happened, and I remember I shared that story. And then I also remember a few months after that, there was a player who played for the University, I believe, of Massachusetts in college basketball who had came out as gay as well. And I remember I was sharing these stories or these posts on my Facebook when I had it at the time. And a lot of people were coming at me like, oh my God, Mike, why are you sharing this stuff? Like, why are you sharing this stuff? One of my friends, Luke, hit me up and he was like, yo, bro, why are you sharing all this gay stuff? And I told him, I said, the reason why is because I think it's fascinating. I think it's dope. And I think it's surprising because I never thought in my lifetime, and I told him this, I never thought in my lifetime that someone would come out as gay in a professional sports league. I just never thought I would see that in my lifetime. And I thought that it was so interesting and so courageous of these men to come out and live their life and live their truth. I'm not a gay man, not gay. But I certainly don't begrudge anybody who's gay or is homosexual or whatever, and that's how they choose to live their life. I don't judge people based off of that. Reason being is, simply put, I work in social services, which I've been in for the past 8 years. I've had clients and coworkers, oddly enough, who are part of the LGBTQ plus community. So if I have any bias or any hatred or any, what's the word I'm looking for? homophobia in me, I'm working in the wrong field and I need to get out of it. But that's me. I'm not saying that everyone else has to be that way, although it would be nice if they were, but I don't tell people how to live their life. So I live my life based off what works for me, and everyone should do the damn same. And I think for myself personally, I'm not going to judge someone based off the fact that they're gay. I judge them off the fact that they get on my goddamn nerves or not. Because my tolerance meter is, my dealing with people is based off if they get on my nerves or not. You get on my nerves, whether you're gay or straight, you have to get the fuck out of my life because I have no time for you. And that's how I approach shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, shout out to Carl Nassib, Big Mike, or in Mike Drop here, salutes you for coming out living your truth. Fuck all those dumbass people on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and Bleacher Report or any idiot or homophobic dumbass who would sit there and want to question you coming out and living your truth and saying that you're disgusting and gross. But when guys are out there beating their wives and all that other shit, they had nothing to say. So they need to sit their ass down somewhere, like I say. And they won't say it, but I'll fucking say it because I don't care. So that was one story. But another story I wanted to highlight, and as a matter of fact, I just rewatched it, so I'm going to share the link for you guys and to watch it because I think it's a great story, of Nicole Lynn. And I know you guys don't know who she is. She's actually one of the few, if not the only, black female NFL agents in the NFL right now. She currently has about 20 clients on her roster of her people that she represents, and I wanted to showcase her because again she is kind of like the trailblazer because she's the first black woman to be a part of the NFL in terms of agency. She's a part of Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne has purchased the sports agency and now he renamed it Young Money Sports, and so she's a part of that team, and she's great. She's probably one of, and I'm gonna share the link of her story because I want you guys. I think it's a great story of how she got in, how she builds rapport with those guys, but also the bullshit and the shit she kind of deals with or thinks that she has to deal with on a daily basis. Now the video is about 15 minutes long, so if you don't have the full 15 minutes to sit and watch it, that's fine, but I highly recommend watching it if you get the chance because it's a great video. And I actually shouted her out on Twitter because I think what she's doing is amazing and she's blazing a trail. And actually one thing she said at the end of the video, I'm going to bring up at the end of my video to kind of sum up everything as well. But now I will divert from football to round ball, which is basketball. Okay, so the news that's making the headway now a little bit in the NBA right now. For those of you who don't know, right now NBA playoffs are going on still. The conference finals are going on right now. But usually towards like the end of the season or end of playoffs, coaches are getting hired and fired left and right. So right now, there's been 2 coaches that have been hired. There's about 5 coaching vacancies left. But right now, it's a little bit different than most years, in that women are actually being considered for these head coaching positions. Becky Hammon, who is, I believe, is an assistant on the San Antonio Spurs coaching staff, and Teresa Witherspoon, who is, I think she works on the staff of the New Orleans Pelicans, are in the running for certain coaching positions, which I think is wonderful. Both Teresa Witherspoon and Becky Hammon are both decorated WNBA vets, played in the league for many years, highly respected, and all that. So I know that I might get some pushback on this from men that will say, well, yeah, they're great. They were great women players, but they couldn't possibly coach in the men's league or whatever. It's different. They won't understand, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, the reason why I will challenge that and call bullshit on your argument, because I know that even if they won't say it, people probably think it. That's why I'm going to challenge you on that. Specifically for Becky Hammon, for example. Because Becky Hammon not only is a decorated player, she has been an assistant on the San Antonio Spurs staff with Greg Popovich, who's arguably one of the greatest coaches of all time, for the better part of about 7 or 8 years now. 7 years now. I think 2014, 2013 she might have joined. Okay? Now, not only did Becky Hammon break ground in history as being the first female head coach to coach in a game because Greg Popovich lost his cool one game and got ejected, and she ended up having to coach the game for the rest of the game, and she did a pretty decent job. I don't know if they won the game or not, but she did coach, and she was the first female coach ever in NBA history to do that. Believe it or not, for those of you who think, well, that was just a one-time thing, she got ejected, she got lucky, blah, 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 she couldn't possibly coach grown-ass men. Kind of wrong, bro. Because oddly enough, in 2015, she was coaching the Spurs Summer League team. And for those of you who don't know what the Summer League is basically the rookies, first and second year players go to the Summer League to refine their skills, and they play in the league. It's about 5 or 6 games. It's not like a big, large sample size of games, but they're playing in actual games. NBA style, NBA rules, all that stuff. And she was coaching that team. And believe it or not, she actually won the Summer League championship. So here's a woman, somehow, some way, was able to get 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids to buy in and to play for her. And she somehow miraculously won the Summer League championship. Now, I know it's not the biggest deal. It's not an NBA championship and blah, 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 blah. I get it. And I'm not saying that she should absolutely, definitely be hired. But I would challenge anybody to say that she's not qualified to be hired, because she definitely has the qualifications. And if you want to tell me that you have coaches that have been recycled in and out of this fucking league, like the Scott Brookses of the world and all these other motherfuckers who get fired and hired every fucking year, and they don't do shit. So, and I think the NBA is changing anyway. Let's bring in some new blood. Let's bring in a new perspective, a new way of coaching. And if Becky Hammon has a solid system and a way to motivate and implement that system that the guys will buy into, why not have her coach? Because as a matter of fact, and another reason why I'm wearing this lovely jersey, is that the Cleveland Browns, oddly enough, have a woman on their staff as a position coach. Who would have thunk it? As a matter of fact, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Super Bowl champions, by the way, have a female physical trainer. So are you going to tell me, misogynistic guy out there who's thinking that I'm just sitting there pandering to women and talking shit and all this, that women can coach guys to play certain positions, women could teach guys how to lift weights and get stronger, but women could not possibly coach men to play sports? Word, bitch? Is that the argument you're going to bring to me? Come on now. Now, do I think that Becky Hammon and Teresa Witherspoon will get hired? Doubt it. But this is probably as close of a time we have seen or may ever see a woman actually get in the ranks. And I think Becky Hammon, if she doesn't get it this year, at some point I think she's going to get it, because she has the resume. So at the end of the day, if they don't want to hire her, it's basically because she's a woman. Basically. Because they can't say, oh, she doesn't have the resume or she doesn't have enough NBA knowledge or whatever. She's an assistant on an NBA team. And the Spurs, no doubt. And if you're an assistant on the San Antonio Spurs, you're basically guaranteed to get a head coaching job. Just this week, the Boston Celtics hired Ime Udoka, who was an assistant for the Spurs a few years ago, as their head coach. So don't tell me, oh, well, yeah, because she's an assistant. Mike Budenholzer was an assistant. A bunch of other players, coaches who were assistants for the Spurs, get coaching jobs. So don't tell me that, oh, well, she's just an assistant. Other assistants have gotten jobs, bro. So come on now. You're going to have to come up with a better argument than that. And Teresa Witherspoon, the reason why I wanted to bring her up is because I'm actually going to share a link with her of her sharing a story, a motivational story that I am not going to share because I don't feel that I can do this story justice. It's 2 minutes long. I really am hoping that you guys watch this video because it's such an amazing, powerful video. And it shows just how strong of a person she is. And in my opinion, she can motivate players to play for her with the way she's able to share this story. And even the women out there who are probably going to watch this vlog, who aren't into sports, if you watch that video of her and even of Nicole Lynn talking, the way they speak, and they're intelligent, smart, but they are also powerful, strong people and they know their shit. They know what the fuck they're talking about. So I highly recommend you watch the Teresa Witherspoon one as well and stuff like that too, because I think it's a very powerful video. And I think if nothing else on this Feel Good Friday, it will definitely make you feel good. But I want to touch on one thing that Nicole Lynn touched on, because I'm going to touch on the detractor argument that I keep hearing and I see on YouTube, because there's YouTube videos of men saying that WNBA needs to reality check and they shouldn't be getting paid as much as men and blah, 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 blah. Which, by the way, I don't think I've heard any woman ever say that they want to get $45 million like Patrick Mahomes gets in terms of contract, or get $40 million that Steph Curry gets. I don't think any woman has ever said that. But the playing field is not level, and they want to try to have a level playing field, and at least given the opportunity for a level playing field. For example, because I hear the narrative and idea that, oh, well, they're not, like, because the idea is with WNBA, no one watches it. They don't make enough income. They're not generating income, so they shouldn't be getting paid what they should be getting paid. But the reason why that argument kind of is hollow to some degree is because, are they really marketed enough to get those ratings? Are they really showcased? Are they really marketed enough global or in a way where they could be seen? Like, tangibly, like, realistically, are they? No, they're not. Are they given the same resources as the men? They're not. They're not. Like, for example, even in the college basketball, there was one of the players on the girls teams was showing, this went viral in March, was showing her lunch that they were serving her, which was basically some poor ass bologna and cheese sandwiches. It was fucking disgusting. And then she showed her the workout area, which was basically a bunch of free weights, a few free weights, and I think a treadmill and like a pull-up bar, and that was it. Meanwhile, the men had a full-on gym and they were getting catered meals served to them. So don't tell me that the level of the playing field is level and fair. It's not. And I think what I'm trying to say, and actually what Nicole Lynn said, is in order for women to really make headway, men have to give them the opportunity. The opportunity. You can hire whoever you want. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is this. Hire whoever you want. I'm not saying that they have to hire Becky Hammon. If they don't, whatever. But my point is, you can't tell me that Becky Hammon is not qualified to do the job. You can't tell me that. She knows basketball. You can't tell me that Teresa Witherspoon, who played in the league for God knows how long, was a coach, is an assistant, is on an NBA team. You can't tell me that she's not qualified. That's my point. I'm not saying you got to hire them as some charity or some pity, but don't tell me they're not qualified. I'm not saying that the WNBA is better than the NBA, but don't tell me that they're getting the same access and the same opportunities and the same marketing and showcase that the NBA does. You can't tell me that. The same with female agents. There are hardly any, if not any. So us as men, and I'm speaking to me and men out there, we got to give these women an opportunity and a choice. Because you can't make the argument of, well, you eat what you kill, like Channing Crowder made on I Am Athlete, as to why women shouldn't get paid the same amount as men or paid as much when they're not given an opportunity to kill anything. There's nothing to kill. So what are they going to eat? Because you got to ask that question. Are they actually given food to actually kill, or given things to actually kill? Or we're just saying that because you just don't want to pay them, which is fine, but we have to be honest. And I feel like they need to be given the opportunity. That's all I'm saying. Opportunity is important, okay? No one's asking for a handout or be a charity case. I don't think that's what anyone's asking for. But I think if someone's qualified, you give them the shot. One thing Sana said to me when me and her did this or actually we did a podcast on gender inequality, and I talked about the fact that the gender wage gap and stuff like that in sports, and Sana talked about it in the workplace. And the one thing she said to me, which kind of saddened me, was the fact that I would get paid more than her. Just because, and based off the fact only that I'm a guy, which I think is absolute fucking lunacy. Not saying that I shouldn't get paid anything, but Sana knows her shit. Sana's been in the field longer than me, has more education than I have. And if you're hiring me, you should not be hiring me and paying me more just because I have balls and dick. No. You should be hiring me based off if you think I'm qualified enough to do the job. And if, let's say, if you're putting my resume against Sana's, you got to hire the best person. And if Sana has more qualifications than me, I should not get that fucking job because I'm a man. I shouldn't. So, and that's what I'm going to say about that. Let's give these women the opportunity. And then whatever they do with it after that is up to them. Okay? And I'm going to sign off on that. This has been Mic Drop. I hope everyone enjoyed this one. Again, watch those 2 videos if you get the chance. Let me know what you think about them in the comment section. And if you have anything else you want me to discuss, let me know. And I will try to maybe discuss it for y'all lovely people. I am out. Love, peace, and soul. Enjoy your Friday, even though it's gloomy out here in Toronto. Wherever you are, I hope you enjoy your Friday. And have a lovely weekend. I'm out.